to Nature's Galaxy. I'm your host and talkative friend Luna. Thank you so much for stopping by and trusting me with your cards. Not everything I say will resonate with you, but based off of faith, we'll go from here. So this is a pre-recorded message that I'm doing right now. So I'll premiere it, but after I didn't want to go live because I know I'm going to be like talky pants. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm going to go straight back to painting. And I don't really want to edit. Just want to jump straight into it. At least that's what my inner schedule is trying to like be like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And so far it's been successful. So anyway, this reading is for Scorpio placements. To reiterate again, not everything I say will resonate with you, but based off of faith, we'll go from here. Oh, let me show you some of the paintings that I've been doing. So this is one. Bubbles! Bubbles! I'm just trying to like do a whole bunch of like patterns and stuff like that. Some of it's pretty free-for-all. Just kind of going with certain things. So I kind of mimic the brush strokes that were like underneath here. Here's one that I'm kind of like working on. It's kind of like slowly coming together. Maybe you guys see something, but I'm still working on these 3 pieces. I'll show you what I've finished. I said I messed up on this one, but it is pretty cool, so I think I'm gonna just kind of sell it as is. This is one of my favorites. It's like a walking path, though someone told me it looks like chocolates. I'll take it, I'll take it. Then you have some wavy patterns. Again, just kind of working with certain patterns to see how I like them. And then this is another one of my favorites. Like, I'm really letting just the abundance of art flow through me, flow through me again. I'm having more motor skills kind of return to me from the last several years of just a body falling apart, I guess. Anyway, so starting out with the Star Codes Astro Oracle. Let's see what the planetary placements influencing Scorpio need to know. We have progressions. Hell yeah. 56. That's also 11. Okay. Something about next year being an 11. I know it's a 10-year, but it might be also like a 1. But for some people, for some reason, what I'm getting is that it's 11. Hold on. Next card, please. Oh. We have Aries. Hello. Bam. If you got a pet, do that for me. Oh, and we have Mars. Okay. Well then. I think Mars is in Capricorn. So there's something about Mars, excuse me. There's something about Mars being in Aries. So you could have this in your chart. There is progression here, and or you could be dealing with this person. We have 122. Anyway, where was I going with this? Also, there will be more progressions as soon as Mars moves into Aries. So this is a big leap forward, something else to really think about coming up. So, you know, you and Aries share Mars as a planet. Look at them arms. But together, I do feel like there might be new workout routines that start to pay off, or you return to workout routines. But you're definitely dealing with an Aries coming up as a Scorpio placements, and or you have Aries strongly in your chart. We also have Aquarius here at the bottom of the deck. So journey, act, motion, collaborate. If you can see that. Or you're dealing with someone who has their Mars in Aquarius. Oh, I said 11. What the fuck? Sorry. And then we have 111 right here. We have 1122. A lot of hands. There could be some Gemini or third house influence that's coming through here. But again, I believe Mars is in Capricorn. Excellent. All right. For progressions, I'll do the Sagittarius reading, I think, tomorrow before I go out for the night. So, for my friends, for talking specifically to one, I will get to Sagittarius, if anything, by Sunday. Love you. And if you're just like, oh, you like Scorpio placements more, you also have a Scorpio placement. Love you. But also when it comes down to Scorpio placements, it's because I have a lot of Scorpio in my sign. And though it does sit in my 9th house, which is ruled by Sagittarius, not necessarily my house specifically, but like the 9th house in total. Either way. What I'm also getting is 5, 6, like 5 take away 6. There's also 1, 5 take away 6. Does that even sound right? 6 take away 5. All right. Either way, here we go. A few more shuffles. So with progressions, what is something that Scorpio needs to know at this time in terms of their affirmations? I also feel like with donations, people reaching back out to you, you needing to reach back to other people, there might be a little bit difficult of a terrain coming up. You and your intuition would know how to move forward. And you know, there's like a clock back here. So certain things are supposed to be on your time. It was 7-Eleven when I was also mentioning that. I know it was so long ago. I don't live in an area that has a 7-Eleven. Or at least anymore. We used to, but that's been years ago. But I forgot. Are some of them connected to like a gas station? I can't remember. Last time I was at one of them, I was pretty young. I think I was like 8 in the back of my sister's car. Like, you want to go get a slushie? Oh, fuck yeah. Let's go. All right. So every room I enter shifts in my favor when it comes down to progressions. Okay, so some of you could be going into internship. Some of you could be going out for a new position. Okay, so what's going on with this Aries individuals? You and some Aries individuals, I feel like the Aries just has not been in the mood to understand Scorpio. Maybe even if you have Aries within your chart, you haven't had a lot of patience with yourself. Would I be wrong? I got questions. It's an affirmation, but it's still, as I'm hearing it, reading it in my head, there's some impatience here, friend. I expect amazing opportunities today. Look at this. I expect putting that hoof down. Damn. All right. All right, friend. All right, and then Mars. So what's an affirmation with Mars? So, every day, my luck and blessings multiply. So that's you in this 3rd house energy with Mars being here. It could potentially be going into your 4th house. So if you want to jump or sharpshoot, jump. I'm not sure. That could make sense to some of you. I don't know. In terms of sharpshooting towards making sure you have different things prepped for the home for some of you, because Mars is just like, let's go. Ándale. Vámonos. Let's go. But I do feel like for others of you, if you've been wanting to clean the home coming up, there's something in terms of being able to, with Mars soon to go into your 4th house, and that as well will bring you different blessings. Because Aries, Aquarius, Aquarius sits in your 4th house if you are a Scorpio rising per se, or maybe even still like a Scorpio sun. To some extent, like the home's going to be affected, but the more you focus on home, the more you clean the home, the dishes, the car. I know, tedious. I know, especially if you have bebe, if you have the bebe around, or the fur bebes, or the bebes. Goodness. It's hard. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. But, you know, make room for abundance. Make room for abundance. There's something for some of you where when Mars moves into Aries, something in terms of the home is going to reach a completion. So whether it's selling a home, donating certain things, there's certain things like it wants to go on its own journey when it comes down to the home. So there's a new... sorry, my hand's like cramping here and there. I had like a joint over here just kind of get like real stiff on me all of a sudden. I think it's because I've just been doing a lot of art. And so even like when I'm doing yoga, I'm just like, oh my God, you're so fucking stiff. And now like with my hand, it's just like irritated. So sometimes again, then I'll stop. I'll do tarot. I'll do other things to loosen this hand. You can't stay, you know, doing the same thing all the time. As an artist, I don't think I could do that anyway. As a creative individual, I know back in the day when I had like really bad carpal tunnel, again, part of my body falling apart around that time. Oh my God, I would get so depressed. Because as an artist, you can't use your hands. I don't want to think about it no more. I know it was a second. I don't want to think about it no more. But if you're an artist and you've gone through carpal tunnel, it's a son of a bitch. If you have the babies around, I'm sorry. But it's a son of a gun. It's a son of a gun. All right. Progressions, journey. Every room I enter shifts in my favor. So if you're dealing with other Scorpio placements, I feel like it's a bit of like an amplifying, magnifying, magnetizing, glamour, energy. It's a lot. To rebuild trust again, you know, you're going to look at people funny now if they try to ask you how you feel during certain situations. But at the same time, I don't think Scorpio at this point in time can help but to like tell people some of their secrets and other people to tell you certain secrets. So if people have been around for a while and you know you're close friends, but what I'm getting is there are other people who have been around you for a long period of time, and now there is going to be certain exchanges when it comes down to this progression. I guess you can call it trauma dumping, but I feel like this is like the slow, natural initiation of like what it is to be a friend, what it is to be a long-term friend. Sometimes, and I think that's why at times, for instance, like if you're seeing a therapist, if you've ever seen a therapist, I feel like a whole bunch of Scorpio placements have seen therapists, but you know, that's why there's like certain lines when it comes down to being a therapist, to being a teacher, to being a guide, because when you know certain people too quickly, it's not necessarily anybody's fault, but now that you have looked so closely and deeply into their soul, to whatever extent when it comes down to the Scorpio energy, whether it's your parent, a friend, someone you know, a stranger, or, you know, I'm just going through the examples. Will you be able to deal with like different shock factors of like what comes out from the shadow? You know, is it gonna be, you know, these jagged types of, you know, shapes here or there? Will it be bubbles? You know, what really comes out of the dark? What's going on there? If you're worried about somebody stalking you online, they don't know everything you're doing. They don't know every person or thing you're looking at. I don't know what that's supposed to be about. It could be an ex-lover type of thing, but that's just something random that I got. Oh. It says, shut up. Move in silence. Cállate. Move in silence. Cállate la boca. Shut your mouth. Okay. I learned that from the kids. The kids, they would, you know, especially the little Mexican kids, they would always be acting the fuck up. But then they're just like, teacher, tell us to shut up. And I'm like, oh my God. I tried to. And they're like, you should say it louder so we can really hear you. I swear to God with these children. I swear to God. I'm doing the best I can. And now they're helping me. Okay, moving on. Sorry. Just something random that I thought of. Ooh, they got my little nerves. All of my little nerves. Anyway. So we have shut up, move, and silence when it comes down to your progressions. When you enter the room, it's saying to be quiet. Have an air of mystery going on here, or maybe you've already been doing that. Keep doing it, friend. Keep doing it, individual. Alien? I'm not sure. The alien's back? I don't know. To some people, I'm just going to put it out there. To some people, that can be offensive because some people kind of like associate that with not necessarily just like anti-Semitism, but like I know some of the language is also around like different forms of like autism. I like to say neurodivergency because obviously I'm not a fucking doctor, but the neuro spicy. Anyway, the brain is a powerful tool. You know, everybody's different. If you ever get the chance to work with special needs kids or children, yes, they change your heart. Of course, it's not, you can't really go back. You can't really go back. Just putting that out there for somebody. I don't know if like some of you are walking into special education, or maybe you have like a student that has special needs or something like that. After working with that kid, you're going to see everybody else on this like bullshit-o-meter. You're just going to be like, oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all don't know how to work your imagination for shit. Anyway, just putting it out there. We have divine feminine. You could be involved with a Cancer person with the divine feminine energy. What are these other cards that come through? We also have Aquarius. Okay, again, you could be dealing with 2 Aquarians, a Cancer. This person could have Aries, Aquarius, Cancer in their chart. Could. We also have Virgo here. No words needed. With the Aquarius, I am exactly who I think I am. Those are the words down there. Cancer, am I emotional? Oh, I am emotion. I know that's right, girl. Again, they can have it in their chart. BDE, even if you don't have the D. And then we also have Leo here. The whole gang's coming up. Shit. The Virgo Aquarius is coming through with the BDE. Should you trust it though? I don't know. They want to have a Leo approach, of course, because Leo sits in their 7th house, but let's look into this. But the Cancer, the Virgo, the Aquarius. I'm not even on Aries yet. This is still with the first group. So you have to be quiet around a Cancer, a Virgo, and Aquarius. And or every room shifts in your favor if you have Cancer, Virgo, or Aquarius in your chart. Again, I'm not reading just yet for the Aries placement. Cats, can you tell me a little bit more about this energy? It's coming through a little confusing. Obviously, like, they would get it, but, like, I feel like I'm saying gibberish. We have the Five of Pentacles. You're trying to stay away from certain competition is what I'm getting. Something about 2021. Something happened in the year 2021. You could have been in a relationship, or you could have started your healing process. And you could have met these people. I'm sorry, that's my back. Been trying to listen to a little bit more of like the heart chakra frequency, just to loosen up my nerves. At this point, like certain like aches here or there, I'll know like which chakra to like really hone in on, focus on. But yeah, there's something about 2021 that's coming through pretty strong. I don't know what that's supposed to mean though, but you would know. We have the Two of Cups. So a friendship, a relationship, a networking business partner, something came to an end in the past. They are thinking about you, but it's still saying for you, Scorpio placement, that you need to move in silence. Like, there's something about their energy, their confidence, their manifestation skills where, you know, you have Uranus in your 7th house, so there's different types of confrontations that you've had to go through. Like the confrontations that you've had to go through, you went through them. But Five of Pentacles, you know, they're still on the outs, you're still on the outs. I don't feel like this is changing. I feel what's best for you right now is to keep moving forward. I hesitate to say building money, because with the Five of Pentacles in this particular deck, it's just like you're exhausted, you're tired, you're interested in your hobbies right now. 22:22 on the clock, or the timer, not the clock, my bad. Whichever one for you, I don't know. And then the Two of Cups right here. I don't know if these are sun signs or like prominent. Let's go with the sun signs, but part of me also feels like they would have prominent placements with some of this. If you're dealing with individuals where you were intimate with these people, again, if you're like single, the Aquarius, friend, for some of you, friend, we've already talked about this Aquarius. This motherfucker cannot come towards you right now. They're coming through with the BDE, but you know, there's so much like they have to honor within you, and like they just aren't coming up as it. You know, the divine feminine, she ain't chasing nobody. She ain't chasing shit. She is there, she's minding her business. She's, you know, not shutting up, but she's choosing her conversations wisely. With the Virgo energy here, if you have dealt with a Virgo back then, I do feel like this Virgo from back in the past, they are moving on, but they do wish that they moved on with you. Some of them, they just didn't get their money right, and obviously it's not all about money, but when you're the main one contributing to all this relationship stuff, it's gonna make a difference. It's gonna wear and tear. Okay, it's gonna wear and tear. But I just feel like if you've been dealing with a masculine, whether you are a male person or not, if you've been dealing with a Virgo, a Cancer, and Aquarius, they're just coming through as a fuckboy. But there's something involving 2021 with this person. So they either have these significant placements, or it's the sun signs that you've been dealing with. Hey, there's no judgment on my end if you were dealing with all of them. No judgment on my end. But I do feel like if you're in the divine feminine energy, you're just learning. You're learning a lot from these characters, and or what I'm getting is these are the signs of the people in different stages of your life that you fell in love with. The Virgo, the Cancer, the Aquarius. Yeah. Like you really love these people. And in the end, it just felt like it was for nothing. Let me get another affirmation card here. This is all past energy. Can I get a card for Scorpio's heart real quick? What's the best thing that they need to know about this situation? Because you are progressing past the situation. You do need to not so much silence your heart. You can't really help those vibrations that are like going out there. But in terms of calming certain nerves in your heart. I mean, I guess they could also be a woman, but it's not really the energy that I'm getting. But, it, you know, if it fits, it fits. Cat energy. If I fit, I sit. All right. I am in alignment with the frequency of generational wealth. Wealth equals health. So it didn't work out for a reason at the end of the day. Or you feel like these people left you in some kind of desolate state in terms of money, or they wanted to siphon your wealth, your generational wealth. And or for some of you, you're dealing with people who affected your generational wealth. They want back in. But for some of you, you need to slow down on what you put out in social media. There's individuals who want to steal your ideas. Now, if they're cool, they're cool, you know? You're going to feel that. You're not going to feel like, is this person trying to sabotage me? You're not going to feel that. You're going to be like, oh shit, I'm actually hurt. Oh shit, I'm falling into alignment. 27 when I saw that on the timer. You're truly going to feel like you're falling into alignment. But no, there are individuals that you don't really see that are trying to take your ideas. Hold on. It's one thing to collaborate. It's another thing to cheat somebody out of like their wealth. There's a divine feminine Aquarius here that is closing their mouth about the progressions in their life. That's kind of what I see like in front of me. Come on, bro. Why are you falling? They do have an X in their energy. I don't think they're going to do anything. No, especially if the other third party has any like Aquarius in their chart, I don't see them doing anything. If you were worried about that to some extent, no, they're on the outside. Two of Pentacles, new friendships. For some of you, if it's been a while since you've actually felt like you could have fun, relax, you know, just go out and, you know, not feel like you're spending an arm and a leg just to, you know, have fun. When it comes down to the Two of Cups here, you're going to have more insight gatherings potentially coming up, just more time, you know, like you're around people where you can like get lost in your phone but not feel like you're the loner of the room. You can get lost in conversation and not feel like you're being too much. You can feel like you're cycling out of the conversation and that friend brings you back in. It's nice. I saw that as well on TikTok, where it's just like that one friend that includes you when you feel like you're on the outside of the conversation. I think it had like 2.2 million likes or something like that. I thought that was so cherishing. I was just like, yes, those friends are the fucking bomb. But sometimes I do feel like I'm also that friend. I'm just like, yeah, oh my gosh, we're having so much fun. Not in every situation. Definitely depends on the mood. Definitely depends on the day. Because if I'm not feeling it, I feel like I'm glaring at everybody. Anyway. Let's see. Now we're into the Aries energy. Why do I feel like, what is this? They do have Chiron finishing up in their sign. They have been making mistakes, purposeful or not. Okay, Aries act. I expect amazing opportunities today. First, something about first, wanting to be first. If you had an Aries that you've been dealing with in the past where you're just, that's how it feels. Just, it's like they want to go another go around, but they don't know what they want. For some of you, if you have Aries in your chart, you got to be consistent with what you truly want. No tea, no shade, but this acting with collaboration is here, you know. Let's see. If you've had different like Aries friends kind of bump you the wrong way or insinuate certain things, project certain things onto you, feel like they could be spilling your secrets for some of you, and for others of you, you know, like when somebody like leaks information about like a movie or a show or something like that, it's kind of giving that energy a little bit. So in terms of this Aries energy, as they're walking, they're kicking everything up. That's kind of like the energy that's coming through. We have meditation. You fell asleep again, didn't you? For some of you, this Aries is walking around full of mental exhaustion, or they're walking around with a lot of influence. This meditation here, this falling asleep, I don't know, it just feels medicated to a certain degree. We also have Libra. Libra, I love, and options. So they could also have Libra in their chart, or you have Libra in your chart, something like that. Or I don't know. If it fits, it sits. That's my best advice right now. A very cat-tuitive, anyway. This is interesting. It's hard to kind of break down, but oh yeah, never mind. All I had to do was just flip it over. So if you were dealing with an Aries or a Libra in your past, you have meditated on the situation, you did expect more from them, 3311 when I saw that, and 3313. Karmic partner, yeah, they're a lesson, not a blessing. Okay. So bottom of the deck, we have shadow work. You're meeting the parts of you that prayed for survival. I think you're learning lessons here about this Aries Libra placement from your past. I'm just getting mainly past energy. Because somebody fell asleep on somebody, you know. Instead of like manifesting this person, really putting in the effort. Yeah, you can expect a lot, but at the end of the day, it just turned into a karmic partnership. I don't know what their game was, is kind of like the energy that's coming through. For some of you, you know, this is like a person that's still on the apps, but even if they're not on the apps, I think, yeah, I mean, they could say that they love you, because I'm looking at this Libra card. I love and options. So it's kind of coming through as after they were done talking to you, sleeping with you, being with you, then they went over to somebody else. So they went full-fledged into Libra energy when it comes down to their options. They slept on the connection. They made the connection karmic. But for you, you're just like, what's their fucking deal? I don't know, friend. Some of them, again, could be under influence or influences, whether it's people, drink, indulgences. maybe it could be work, but I don't really get if it's work, because if they were really solid in their work, this also wouldn't really be an option, or a distraction, like this emotional distraction. It's hard to say, and it hurts to say that you were an emotional distraction. Whatever. Get the fuck out of our face, bro. Excuse me. Came from the gut. I'm just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. So this Aries just expects for a relationship to just automatically get better or something like that. You see? Yeah, you're meditating, but meditating on what, fam? Like, for some of them, they just don't have their life together. Their karmic partner to their friends coming up, their karmic partner to some of their family. Like, for a sign that has Chiron, some of them are not making it out the other end proud to, you know, have gone through what they've gone through and worked for what they went through. They resent love. Oh shit. What the fuck? How you gonna resent love? It's not my business. It's not my business. This person is not just emotionally unavailable. For some of them, and this is outside of you. I mean, like, if you feel this way and you have Aries placements, okay. But I'm mainly speaking for, like, if you have Scorpio placements and have been dealing with different fuck boys, different fuck girls, I'm not really sure. There is no simp here. They can act like a simp for like a few hours. Lame. So lame. 5 of Cups, says the cats. You have other people that you need to learn to trust again. You have other people around you who don't see you as an option, but I feel like this is more towards friendships. So for some of you, this Aries really did some kind of damage when it comes down to the connections around you. Some of you may not have a lot of friends. You depend heavily on the friends that you have. For some reason, I'm also getting a manager. A manager could have been sloppy with their work, bringing their love life into the job, but that's for some of you. But it kind of still rings true. Some of you don't really have a lot of friends around you, or friends at all. For some of you, it could be the opposite, where you don't really have family, or for some of you, it could be like you don't really feel like you have anybody. You've closed yourself off to love and options from this Libra card and what it's pointing towards. You feel like you can't trust where your magic goes in terms of long-term friendships and or partnerships. They keep, bringing this heartbreak into your energy for some of you. But I'm also getting, for some of you, this could be a family member. We got 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Look at these fucking pirates. Look at the mice, bro. The mice are always down for the shenanigans. Look at this. You are leaving this person in the past. Now, if you have Aries placements, I feel like then the shadow work comes into play. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for you. I don't know, it's just kind of like going quiet. I don't know if like your heart needs the quiet, or it's just been too quiet as of recently. But at the same time, it's just like Five of Cups, Five of Swords. It's like you shy away from certain things. For some of you, if you have Aries placements, you're testing relationships because of a karmic relationship in the past, whether that involved a Libra or another Aries. The Libra, it looks like they're in the Five of Cups. For some of them, there's something about meditation here. If you dealt with or have been dealing with another Aries, it's just fucking Five of Swords. They're a karmic partner. You expect amazing opportunities today, but I feel like for some of you, you need to maybe dive a little bit more into cognitive behavioral therapy, or just certain acts, like putting affirmations in different places in your home, around you, maybe on your phone, like the back of your phone, you just change it to an affirmation. Something to help you shift your focus off of certain things, because there might just be too much toxicity around you and you need a change of environment. Like even just putting the emoji of like, what is it? Like the 2-leaf, not the ones blowing in the wind, like the one that's like popping up from the ground and it's like 2. Boop. Even like just doing that or having that around can change you a little bit, you know? I'm so serious when it comes down to your mind and what it can bring forth. But there's a lot of Five of Swords energy here. So again, if you've dealt with certain Aries placements, they are just now labeled as a karmic partner from your spirit guides, from the cards. They're just going to keep bringing Five of Swords energy. So if they are potentially going through a Five of Cups, just know that if you forgive them too easily, too fast, it's just a Five of Swords. It's just not worth it. And they can be hurt from that, but at the same time, it's just like, what other options do you have? You know, just stay away from them at this point in time. No, this isn't something about like getting on your knees and begging for forgiveness. We don't bend at the knee over here. We don't do that. We do that for God. We do that for the divine. We do that for the goddesses, you know, different things like that. But you know, also when it comes down to forgiveness, be aware of people who bend at the knee. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. I understand like there's different states of desperation, but I don't know. It's just giving a no. Like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be awkward, but it's just a no. Sorry, babe. And if you're somebody who's like cross-watching or something like that and you're just like, fuck you, you bitch. Well, first of all, obviously I don't respond well to conversations like that. I normally just like, boop, you're a stranger to me. Who are you? You know who I am? Boop. Well, not anymore. Boop. All right, so Mars, motion, every day, my luck and blessings multiply. Okay, so Mars in the 3rd house. Whew, getting up out of that energy, because just the Aries energy is just, it was sinking. All right. But if you have Aries placements, take what you need from the messages, but I don't really feel like I picked up a lot on your energy. I feel like I picked up on, or maybe I did, I'm not sure. But I do mainly feel like it's like an Aries outside of you that you were dealing with. So, but if you have Libra placements, I can understand where it's just like, is this my energy? Have I been doing this? What's going on? And it's just like, you forget that Libra can step very easily into another sign's emotions. Another thing, my Pisces friend told me this, and I couldn't agree more. He mentioned how I think in some versions of astrology in Mexico, it's actually switched. So Libras, I mean, Mars is normally like geared towards Libras and Venus is normally geared towards Aries. Honestly, I could not agree more. But I do feel like it's a cultural thing, for sure. For sure. Because as I'm a Libra, like obviously there's different situations where it's just like, I know I can be really nice, but I feel this. So if you as well have Libra placements, yeah, you might feel a little bit more of the Mars energy, but Mars is ruled by Scorpio anyway. But if we mix it into the pot of Vedic astrology and how some Scorpio placements revert back into Libra placements, this only makes sense. It only makes sense. But anyway, to each their own culture, you know? So Mars, motion, every day, my luck and blessings multiply. What does Scorpio need to know with this energy? Whew, I just feel like you need to recuperate your energy a little bit. Or at least that's what you feel like with this Mars energy in your third house. Yeah. 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 And then when it goes into Aquarius, let me also just pull this card too with the Aquarius. You could be attracting new Aquarians by the time Mars goes into Aquarius with the 11-22 energy here. Or you could be seeing those angel numbers a lot, or you could be up late at night. You know, third shift, woohoo, you got this. Whether you're a nurse, you work in a factory, you know, different things like that. Maybe you work online, I don't know. I feel like if you work online, yeah, you do have to be real diligent with yourself in terms of like following when to like sleep. But anyway, so Mars in Capricorn, Mars going into Aquarius. What's up? Solar calm. That's what you need. It's just more clarity, more calmness. There are collaborations that want to mix at this time. You are going to have the energy for it, but it's mainly geared towards luck or the blessings that you can multiply from the things that you can already do yourself. So if you wanted a little bit of a boost towards what you like, it's definitely coming. If you have Aquarius in your chart, or you have an Aquarius Mars in your chart, you feel a little less unstuck now. There we go. We have the 4 of Wands here. So if you're a teacher, a guide of any kind, you know, I'll be reading for teachers. I am surprised though when certain guides come around. I will get intimidated. All right, but when it comes down to the 4 of Wands here, intellectual compassion is needed for sure. I think a lot of you guys have already been there, but I think something around more of like a homey vibe. Okay, so with this Aquarius energy, if you are a teacher, and I did think about this like a few days ago, where if you're a teacher, you know how during free time, it's not even free time, but it's that extracurricular class that nobody really knows like what it's for, other than it's kind of like a study hall that they give the kids now, but they don't call it study hall anymore, just for like the electives and for the grading. But when it comes down to giving them something to do, math and creative writing, it looks like Mars in Aquarius, these questions, these prompts that you need to start giving them, regardless of the grade that you're in, it needs to be around the future because it's Aquarius. It needs to be around helping others. It needs to be around how can somebody like get back up after like trial and error. Of course, you know, we can move up towards the higher grades depending on where you are, but it needs to be geared around this. You need to have different writing prompts for them. They need to have something ready this year in terms of writing. If I'm saying it, like it's for a reason. 49 as I'm mentioning that. Because you also see how the rats now they're just like, oh, okay, let me write. Let me get it together. Whereas before they're just fucking tyrants, bro. Look, the little kids. Ugh. They just grab your heart like, ah. But at the same time, you're just like, ah. But yeah, writing is going to be really important for them, even to bad kids. Yes, you will have pushback if, like, say you have a really good class and you know they have the ability to write 4 or 5 paragraphs with 5 sentences, not lines, 5 full-on sentences. If it's a run-on sentence, those lines don't count. They don't mean shit. But we can't tell them that. What we tell them is, do it again. Go rewrite that sentence. Put some punctuation in there. Because there's something about nationwide testing that might be coming around in terms of writing. I feel it. I was right the last time I was telling those little kids to start writing. So, yeah, writing for sure. You know how some of the kids have like a terrible, awful time writing their name on their work? And it's not to like re-jump some of like how some of you were like in school and it's just like, you know, I forgot to write my name. No, it's bad nowadays. It's bad. They'll write their name on like the first line, like where you're supposed to write like the introduction or the title. They'll write their name like that. Or they'll have the paper completely upside down and write it that way. Or they'll just have their name like randomly like somewhere on the paper. They don't have the date. They don't have the period. They don't have the subject. You don't know where, like, unless you're obviously like with them every single day. And obviously you can do like different grading skills off of that too. You're like, I'm deducting 1 point, a half a point. But try to, on the Promethean board or whatever you have, I know in some of the schools we mainly have Promethean boards. If you, as soon as they walk in the door, make it to where the second semester, you greet them at the door, you start doing these new routines with them. We're not starting the lesson until all of you got your paper out. We're not starting the lesson until all of you have a pencil. We're going and just go through them again and again and again and again and again until they get it right. I know after a while my students definitely were just like, oh, okay, this is it. This is the time. This is the time we do it. All right, let's focus in. It took 3 years, but I got it down. I got it down to a T. All right, everybody. Papers out. Pencil. Who does not have a pencil? Because that in itself is going to take like 10 strong minutes. And if this is, again, like you newly reintroducing certain things like that, you still going to take a minute. But get their creative mind going again. There's something here where at least that's the focus you need to be on in terms of the subject matter. You need to be about like, how do you want to change the world? Write a letter to your future self. That was my favorite when it came down to some of my students. Write a letter to your future self. And when they didn't write, yeah, there's something going on. But, you know, have the needed conversations in between, okay? I had my own conversations with them. I'm pretty sure you'll have your own conversations with them. So, about, you know, their own potential getting to where they need to be, or having those stern conversations because nobody else around them is going to tell them the truth. But about how they deserve better. Anyway. I mean, y'all know, the teachers know, like some of these parents, they're out of it. They're out of it. Anyway. So, and for some of you, then maybe you might start writing again a little bit here or there. We have the Strength card. Pray for strength all the way until summer. Pray for strength, especially in Aquarius season. Go ahead and start praying. I can feel that in my solar plex. Oh my God. Oh, teachers, you got, oh my God, why do I feel like I'm about to start crying? I feel it in my soul. It feels like knots. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Conserve your energy. Conserve your energy. It's taking it out of me. Like the people, like the guides, the counselors, the spiritual teachers online, I understand, like every now and then you gotta pop off. But in the classroom, so for the teachers out there, the nurses, I feel you. I really, really do. I'm gonna start working on my arms again. I got the endurance, but it's getting a little flabby. Anyway, we got the Four of Swords. For some of you, if you feel like you need to jump ship in terms of going to a new school or going to a new hospital to work at, for some of you, it might be the time coming up. Get your resume fixed together, so on and so forth. For some of you, if you're a teacher, you might have 4 more years. Whether it's retirement, whether it's figuring out what you want to do next, but there's something creative within you that starts to get reignited again by the time the South Node and the North Node move into Leo and Aquarius. If you were a teacher in the past, there might be an opportunity to return to either a classroom or a school setup or something like that. If you feel like you don't have the mouth for it, it's a no. I understand. I understand. Again, I'll say it again. If you don't feel like you have the mouth, you feel like you cannot tame your mouth, don't do it this time around. And some of you already knew. You already know. That's why you left. There's some strong man energy that's coming through for some of you. I'm not necessarily sure if it's from an Aquarius or a Leo. Or maybe for some of you, it could be like a student, a client, or just different temperaments around you with this Mars energy. But they got an attitude problem. And normally I don't really mind attitude problems. But there's a limit, okay? There's a limit going on here. So I do feel like if you've had a confrontation with individuals as of recently, whether it's at your job and family or something like that, because the energy almost felt like it wanted to come towards my face, and it's just like, huh. But I feel with this Aquarius energy, other people are going to get onto them. It's not so much a you thing. It's they're going to start messing with somebody else that doesn't have the patience for them, because this is Mars. There's a lot of signs here for you guys. I keep wanting to just shuffle the cards the way I am, because it's just, there's a tightness that just like started in my throat. So throat chakra energy for some of you. For some of you, again, coming back to the teachers, the Velcro students, they're really going to show themselves this year. They're really going to start popping out a little bit here or there. Let's see. There could be a few more fights. Obviously, it's going to be the wintertime. Fights, depression, go hand in hand with the students sometimes. We have the Tower and we have the Sun. What did I say? The Tower and the Sun. If you have administration around you that you feel like is trying to set you up, whether you are in the medical field, whether you're in teaching, or different types of like corporate positions or something like that. If you feel like the administration is trying to set you up, I don't know. I feel like they themselves have their own fights to deal with. That's important to say. So if you feel like you're going to get fired, no, I don't see that. I feel like they really do need your help. They need you to balance out a couple of things, and that also might be exhausting. There's something that starts in Aquarius season. We got the eclipses, we got the South Node and the North Node, but there's a huge transition between Aquarius season and Leo season that you need to understand. Something involving Pisces energy as well. For me as a reader, regardless of like all the other readers out here, no tea, no shade, I'm just saying again, reiterating very strongly, me as a reader, when it comes down to the tarot card of the Tower, I normally see that as Pisces. Okay, so if you go to somebody else and they're just like, oh, it's Scorpio energy, then believe them and how they see it. But for me, it's Pisces energy. So there is some sort of Pisces influence, but of course, that's also right after Aquarius season. By Pisces season, expect the unexpected with luck and blessings, especially if you are in the creative field or you wanted a new turn of events when it came down to partnerships, when it came down to also feeling unbothered about certain things. You're not going to feel so bogged down by the shadow work anymore by the time Pisces season rolls around, but don't get lost in substances either. I feel like for others of you, if there is some kind of move that happens in Aquarius and or Pisces season, there is going to be a positive landing in Aries season, but Aquarius and Pisces season might be very, very busy. Okay? So just keep in mind, I think that's also when Jupiter goes direct again. So Mars and Jupiter are going to be huge significators in terms of turning over a new leaf, turning over the D20 in terms of dice with new positive returns with what you've worked towards. If this has anything to do with an artistic thing, a mechanical thing, what I'm also getting is like different forms of abundance. Like there's always like a different wave of abundance. I don't really know what the abundance is for you, so I'm just kind of like naming two things mainly. Pisces season for the teachers. You could have more days off around that time. You know, the weather be changing. The weather is changing. So for some of you, just expect more off days. So go ahead and plan for you to save for a rainy day just in case. Because with the Sun Mars energy that's coming through, you want to be prepared. That energy loves being prepared. It hates not feeling like it's in a healthy sense of control, because there is still a sense of healthy control that you can have. But for some of you, if you're gathering a lot of strength, especially if you have Aquarius placements, to budget your money very wisely. It's felt very tricky as of recently. Like as soon as you put money in or do something with your money, it feels like thin air. It's gone. But I do feel like that is going to change significantly in Aquarius season. So go ahead and still keep prepping along. But again, if you're a creative person, there's going to be a pop in Aquarius season for you to sell, for you to have the strength to put yourself out there. Or maybe if you have been putting yourself out there, whether you took a break or not, Aquarius, you're going to feel more called to put out more of your work in Aquarius season. Let's see affirmation with this, and then I'll let you go. Whew. Goodness. You finding a lot of things in the dark. Scorpio energy, but at the same time, it's just like, oh shit, just fucking tired. I'm tired of having this heavy load and then also trying to stay in the dark. Goodness. I am a living testament that miracles exist. Hell yeah. But oof, now I'm tired from this reading, but I know that y'all needed it, so. Either way, the shadow work, remember, you are meeting parts of you that you prayed for. So if there's certain parts of you that came through or have been coming through as sad, shameful, a certain level of guilt, a certain level of denial, get out of denial fast. Denial, I mean, some people can live in denial. I don't preach for it. I don't talk about it. I truly do believe that it's a silent killer. That's what I think. I definitely read that from the book The Gift of Fear, but it's true. I know they've also taken different points in that book specifically, which I do like for men and women to understand. For men, the biggest fear for them is to be laughed at, and then for women, the biggest fear for them is to be murdered, killed, and you know, there's a huge stark difference here. Somebody needed to know that, but the book is called The Gift of Fear. It's a very good read. Highly recommend. They have different things that break certain things down, so on and so forth. So whether you get it like with audiobook or just like the regular paperback book or a solid book, what are they called again? A hardback book? There we go. Okay. Hopefully I was able to answer some of these lingering questions for you guys, and also my friends that are watching, because I know I have been ghosting my phone. It's whatever. But again, anyway. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a great morning, noon, evening, or night. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by, watching the premiere. I probably won't be watching the premiere with you guys. I'll be getting back to my painting and doing potentially a few other things. But I'll talk to you next time. Time to also cleanse the energy. So I also suggest for some of you, go ahead, cleanse your energy as well, so you can sharpshoot and think straight and just keep moving forward with whatever you have going on and whatever you have in mind. All right. Bye, Scorpio.